The universe has really been testing me lately. I think I'm passing. First, I found out I have an ovarian cyst and my period was really late. I could tell my hormones were like fucked up. I was having mood swings. I was extremely bloated, like not fitting into my clothes, looking 8 months pregnant. And then the thing that concerned me the most was like, sometimes I would go to pee and I couldn't, even though I could feel that my bladder was full. It was like something was like blocking the pee from coming out. So that was concerning to me and disturbing. And so there were a few times where I like almost started to spiral and feel fear, and I was like questioning things, questioning spirituality. I'm like, what if I actually am sick and I should go to a doctor and I should address this? I don't know, just having these old fears and stuff come up. But I literally, there have been so many insane synchronicities in my life that I really can't question it anymore at this point. And I just really strongly believe in reincarnation and stuff. So I'm not like that afraid of dying even. But obviously like no one wants to die. I really love my life, but if that happens, it's fine. But yeah, I just had these moments of like fear. And then I was like, wait, I'm not gonna act on this. I'm just gonna let it pass. I'm gonna act like the version of me that knows that I'm gonna heal and everything is fine. Also, the symptoms that I've been getting are literally like the least annoying symptoms ever. Like I really appreciate that the universe no longer gives me like the most annoying, horrible, torturous symptoms anymore. Like the symptoms they give me are like bloating. I'm like, okay, I don't really give a fuck. That's like an aesthetic thing really. Like that doesn't bother me, it doesn't make me suffer. So I'm like, thank you. You can give me that symptom when you need to. Or like having like a stuffed up nose. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I feel like that's what they do now when I need to like work on a chakra, is they'll give me like the least annoying symptom possible. But yeah, I was like, okay, bloating, so that's solar plexus. So I need to work on my solar plexus chakra. And then I started going through these solar plexus lessons about setting boundaries and knowing your worth. I've been feeling called to literally completely isolate myself because everyone in my life is a reflection of the old me. And I love everyone. I admire them. I'm not saying anything is wrong with them. Like, they're great people. I'm not demonizing anyone. But every single person in my life has like addictive behaviors or codependent behaviors. No one in my life has like a serious addiction or anything. Like, I'm not saying that. But I just noticed every single human around me relies on all these little pleasures, all these little hits of dopamine throughout the day. Everyone's addicted to social media. Everyone uses food to feel good and to feel pleasure. Everyone is constantly distracting themselves. And so I'm like, how is this still a reflection of me? I really have this desire just to have friends that are more similar to me and have learned the same lessons and have the same level of discipline, and it just feels bad because I'm literally like, I don't mean to say anything bad about these people and I don't mean to be judgmental or anything like that. And so that's why I struggle, I think, with setting boundaries, because it feels like selfish, especially when these people haven't done anything wrong to me. They're not bad people. But also, honestly, like some of my friends have been kind of unreliable. They haven't really been there for me that much in the past year. And I understand everyone's living their own lives and adulthood is complicated, but also I do deserve really good friendships and I deserve people who show up for me and who make me a priority in their life. But also I feel like I'm needed to be isolated, so it works out perfectly. But still, like in theory, I feel like they should make more of an effort to see me and stuff like that. But I kind of realized, like, if I keep friends around who are not everything that I'm looking for, who don't make me feel totally whole when I'm with them, and I don't feel totally seen and understood, and I feel like we're kind of different now. If I keep those people in my life just because of the familiarity and the comfort and the attachment, then I am being that like addictive personality version of myself. I'm being that dependent version of myself because I'm keeping things in my life just because I'm attached to them and they're comfortable and they make me feel good. So I've been feeling called to isolate myself and kind of distance myself from everyone, because I feel like I really have this feeling this is about to be like the biggest transformation of my life, and I'm about to completely step into this like new identity and let go of these things that I've been working on letting go of for so long, like this codependency. And yeah, I feel like if I want to bring in this new life and I want to really embody this new identity that I want, I think I have to really let go of everything old. And I don't know if it's gonna be like permanent and I'm never gonna talk to these people again, literally. If that's like really what God wants me to do, I'll do it, I'll surrender. It feels wrong and it feels sad to the unhealed version of me. Like the unhealed version of me is still attached and like gets scared to let things go. But then when I'm in like a higher vibration, I don't really care about losing anything at all. Or maybe I'll enter this new reality where like everyone suddenly is similar to me again and we can still be friends. I hope that's the case. Or I think we also like, it's okay to balance friendships with people who are different than you and who have different strengths and stuff like that. But I think at certain times we're meant to let go and just really be in our own energy, because it's like I'm kind of bouncing between these two worlds and these two identities right now. And so I've really been focused on creating this really high emotional state, creating the identity that I want, really visualizing that, really feeling like that. Literally walking around and just being like, I'm a millionaire and I help thousands of people. Yeah, I just try to walk around with that mindset. So I feel like I've been going through these solar plexus lessons in terms of boundaries and realizing that the people that you keep around are a reflection of you and what you tolerate. And just because someone is not hurting you or doing anything bad doesn't mean that they should be in your life still. Because yeah, you can have fun with them. You can have a good time with them. They can add to your life. They can be a good friend. But if you were with people who were even more similar and even more of what you're looking for, you would feel even more fulfilled and even happier. And when you settle for something that is less than what you want, that's all that you're ever gonna get. You have to let things go and leave room for better things to come in. And so for as long as I keep these people in my life just because of familiarity and attachment or whatever, then that's me choosing to be that version of myself. And so that was like a huge solar plexus lesson, I think, in terms of boundaries. I'm still like struggling with it and learning it a little bit because it just feels wrong to completely cut people off. I feel bad even like saying this in a video about my friends. It really feels like right now I'm bouncing between these two identities, and when I'm alone, I'm in this really high vibration. I don't feel codependent at all. I feel super confident. I love myself. I know that my desires are gonna come true. And then I re-enter the real world and I kind of start to assimilate and I start to try to relate to everyone else and kind of become similar to them and see the world through their eyes. And it like brings me back down to my old reality. So I'm just trying right now to spend as much time as I can alone, really getting in a high vibration, meditating. I'm realizing that truly the most important thing is your emotional state. I mean, I guess I'm not realizing this, I'm remembering this because there are so many times where I've been aware of this, but for the past like year, I've kind of been more doing a lot of like purging, I feel like, and like emotional healing. And a lot of the things that I've been manifesting are in terms of like healing parts of my mind, which I've been successful at, I feel like. But I've really just been letting myself like experience negative emotions, and I haven't really been prioritizing visualizing the life I want always and really being in that emotional state. It's more just like being happy where I'm at and being grateful. But now I'm really feeling called to once again like level up and strive for more. It's weird because it's like you have to be happy where you're at. You have to make peace with where you're at in order to bring in better things, but you also have to have like a certain level of like discomfort and drive so that you're willing to make a change in your life. And I guess there's just different times and different eras for different things, like it's different seasons. But yeah, I kind of just had a moment where I was like, I don't want to work this job anymore. I don't want this life anymore. I'm ready to let go of this life. And I'm surrendering, like I'm completely willing to let go, and universe, like you can take this life from me. And the only thing that I get scared about would be like being homeless or being sick. So I do still kind of get scared of tower moments because every time I manifest things, I get what I want. Or every time I listen to affirmations, they really come true. But I get scared of the tower moments because it usually is that things fall apart. So I'm like, hopefully everything fell apart that already needed to fall apart. My only fear is being sick or, you know, being homeless and like not having like stability and safety and things like that. But I know I could also get myself out of that. I mean, it's literally just not gonna happen because I just wouldn't get into that mental state anymore. I just have such different beliefs now. But like, for example, I made these self-love affirmations and I recorded them and like listened to them once, and then right after I got broken up with, pretty much like within the week, I think. I really love myself now. Like it really worked. I really love myself now. I got every single thing I put in those affirmations, but I forget that to get there, certain things have to happen. Certain things have to be let go of, and you have to have certain painful experiences. And so I haven't even posted those affirmations because I was like, I don't know if this is really what people want and what they realize they're asking for when they ask for self-love. But obviously I'm extremely grateful that experience happened. Like, I don't regret it at all. It's literally been the most beautiful transformational experience in my life. And I would never take it back because like the reality I live in now is just a million times better. The mindset I live in now is a million times better. But it was really, really, really hard. Wow, I've literally healed so much that I love spiders now and I just stare at them and admire them instead of like feeling grossed out. But yeah, I've been feeling called to literally give up everything, to just like let go of my old life. I'm ready for a new one. I know it feels scary to my subconscious, but I'm willing to do it. I've done it before. I've done it many times before where I've had like a complete life transformation and it's always so much better. You never really miss the old life. So I know how it goes, but it's still weird. And then I've also just been feeling called to kind of avoid any activity that like brings me dopamine or pleasure in a way, other than meditating or creating art or just like connecting to God type of thing. Like I'm not eating for pleasure, I'm eating for sustenance. I'm not eating out at all. I'm not dating. I'm not hanging out with friends. So I've set the intention to do that for like 30 to 40 days and to just get all my pleasure from God, from meditating, from creating. And I also think that's it's like a sacrifice sort of. It's like, I think that unmet desire is energy that can be used for manifestation. So like when you delay pleasure, that's like energy of pleasure that has built up, and so I can bring in something into my life that is like a bigger goal and a greater pleasure because I'm sacrificing like all the little pleasure that I would feel this month if I did other things. And when you really think about it, it makes sense. Like, energy is energy, and it's kind of like how it works when you like go to the gym or go on a diet. Like, you're sacrificing pleasure to get a greater pleasure, a greater reward later on. Or even when you're like building a business, you're sacrificing pleasure, you know, you're working hard, you're being disciplined. Or like if you're spending time studying and working towards certain things, you are sacrificing pleasure in order to get the goal that you want. It's obviously like common sense. Yeah, so I kind of just feel like that's what's happening right now, and I'm like sacrificing a lot right now in order to bring in this new reality, it feels like. But I'm chilling, it's not that hard. And instead of seeing my cravings as a bad thing, like when I crave like unhealthy food or when I want to talk to an old friend, I'll just be like, oh cool, this is like the energy of desire that I'm not meeting, and so this is going towards my goal. The pleasure that I would feel from doing that thing is instead going towards my goal later. And that's just how I've been thinking about it. So that's where I'm at in life. That's what's been happening lately. Oh, I think I forgot to say, my cyst resolved itself. My bloating completely went away after I learned the solar plexus lessons. And an ovarian cyst is funny because it's like such a good test from the universe, because it's the type of thing where it can be really severe and like dangerous, or it can just completely resolve on its own. So yeah, that resolved itself. Everything's good now. My car broke down. My car transmission is having issues, which is like $3,000, and my car is really old and like on its last leg anyway, so I don't even know if it's worth it to fix it, but I can't afford a new car. But I just wasn't tripping about it. I was just like, whatever, everything works out for me, I'm not worried about it. And then today I just found out they're like, actually nothing's wrong with it. Like, we ran tests and we drove it and everything is completely normal. So I'm like, did that resolve itself? We'll see. Either way, I'm really not worried about it.